Sustainability, collaboration by Eppolito, Ryan Nickerson, and Jasmine Morales.
Consumer education is a very significant factor in learning the sustainable practices and becoming a sustainable advocate because you need to learn all the different responsible consumer behavior acts and become aware of the brands that you use and everything that all the different components that go into it.
There are plenty of alternatives that you can use for cleaning, hygiene, and cooking, but beware of greenwashing. HEB is a locally owned chain that endorses an eco-friendly buying experience and is available throughout Texas.
It's important to use your imagination and be creative at home. To be innovative with your own waste products can actually help you make your house more aesthetically pleasing and also make it more green and environmentally friendly. It's very cool to kind of take on the minimalism challenge and make do with what you got rather than have impulsive behavior with your buying decisions.
Our growing population poses a major threat to our landfills and waste removal.
It's important to get involved. Look at your local communities such as San Marcos, and there's bountiful resources in the Austin community regarding sustainable practices and sustainable uses. You can use all kinds of different services and government sponsored programs to help you find your sustainable lifestyle.
Transportation is one aspect of living that requires a lot of energy consumption. So we tried to focus on alternate travel methods that you can use as a student or commuter in general.
Transportation is very significant to the exumes that are put out by different forms of transportation, such as diesel trucks and gasoline fueled cars. In San Marcos, here, we're a very bicycle friendly community. As you notice around the city, there's plenty and bountiful places to attach your bicycle to for safekeeping and plenty of bike lanes as well.
Another principle of sustainability, home design can be used to
reduce the negative implications of using poor materials or chemically bound materials that could have harmful or toxic implications by using them and having them as a piece of your home.
There are various local housing communities promoting sustainability practices by their residents. Green homes have become more prevalent as green affordable housing emerges.
It was easy to notice these on the modern home tour that Professor Urquhart had assigned us earlier this semester. Alternate energy is definitely a growing industry and something that we need to sort out at a more rapid pace. Solar power and wind farms are very popular, as you can see them close to the coast in Texas, along with a lot of solar roofs nowadays, and you can see those in Austin and neighborhoods such as along the Lake Travis. If you ever go to the restaurant Oasis, you look out into your view and you'll be able to see plenty of homes that utilize this sustainable technology method.
CFLs are also a great way to reduce energy consumption in your home and save money on your bill. And they can be found pretty much at any local store.
And you can read more about this and other cool energy conservation techniques through the city of San Marcos, which will actually give you a free estimate and full appraisal on the use of using things such as CFLs.
San Marcos has been altered to a grid-tied renewable energy systems. Um, Solar panels. Well,
Solar panels are definitely popular and increasing in popularity, and they will ultimately save you money after the first initial investment.
water conservation. With our community being surrounded by water and atop an aquifer, runoff water can be a threat. This system is the source of drinking water for more than 1.7 million people.
It's good to know all these fun facts with water conservation. It's important to not leave the hose running and take advantage of a rain barrel program so you get the runoff from your gutters and from the roof of your home, and you can utilize that in your typical yard work that you have to do outside on the weekends.
San Marcos offers a rebate program for toilets. If you want to install a low flow toilet in your home, you can actually get money back in the form of credit on your utility bill. Just go through the city of San Marcos and you can find more info on that.
This is a vantage point of our natural water system, and as you can see, the eastern side or the eastern corner of the Edwards Aquifer comes very close in relevance or spatial relevance to the city of San Marcos and the rest of the Central Texas community. And as you look at the image on the right, the rivers from that Edwards Aquifer help supply that water throughout the rest of the state and the area. It is important to understand the relationship between sustainable food practices and water conservation because, yes, there is a problem in our agricultural industry worldwide currently, but a lot of people tend to forget that how much water it consumes to create this, plant in the ground, plant in the soil, kind of traditional way of farming. Now, it is easy now to kind of find out more about hydroponic and aquaponic agriculture as a sustainable method to help reduce the water problems that we see today in drought susceptible areas such as Texas and the rest of the Southwest. Sustainable food practices in Central Texas is very high in volume, very apparent compared to the rest of the state, especially centrally located around the capital of Texas in Austin. Here we see that you can get very involved through the Sustainable Food Center in Austin. You can also get into all kinds of different community-supported agricultures. Here I have listed the one out in Wimberley with EIEAO Farm Stand with the proprietor, Kathleen Mooney. Actually, I have worked personally with her, and I actually help her with her community-supported agriculture, and she uses all kinds of great techniques to help promote local produce and in a sustainable way. And then pictured on the right there, that's another picture of an aquaponic agriculture small-scale setup. It's pretty easy to get involved through the agricultural extension. It's everywhere. You just have to make the effort and the call to do it. If you would like to learn more about making your own small-scale aquaponic environment production system, you can contact Southern Star Aquaponics as listed there. It's also easy to learn more about sustainable food practices and the use of sustainable foods in either your cooking at home or just ways that you can transition your life to a more sustainable way at local farmers markets. Also, as I said before, you can also go into the Sustainable Food Center or even get into a community-oriented farming cooperative, such as in Elgin, there is a co-op there. Here we see the process of raft-based aquaponics, where the water is always consistently flowing to help make sure that there's no buildup of harmful bacteria or harmful fungus that could grow or mold or anything like that that could damage the actual quality of the product that you're trying to produce. Now, it's a great interdisciplinary system between the fish and the plants being grown because the plants have bacteria microbes that actually help break down the waste of the fish, and the waste of the fish helps fertilize those plants to help them grow healthy and organically. And also the water does go through some filtration processes to make sure that it is clarified water. Now here we see some actual products from EIEIO Farm right out there in Wimberley that I mentioned earlier. And this is a local farmer, Miss Mooney, and she does a new product line of her jars of preserved local foods, which is another sustainable technique that I will go into right now. Now, preserving. You want to access your local and seasonal food all year long. Unfortunately, some local foods you can't grow all year long. So, Miss Mooney opened up her new product line, which you can actually find in local stores such as Brookshire Brothers and Whole Foods and other local health, local oriented uh, storefronts. And she sells her sustainably produced food and she preserves them in a sustainable way through canning and jarring. You can find out more about how to do these preservation techniques through the link provided with the Travis County Texas A&M AgriLife Extension or the Sustainable Food Center with the Happy Kitchen.
Composting is another great principle of sustainability that people can use daily. Austin offers free classes to allow accessible education and sustainable practices that benefit our community. From frequent times for classroom studies, Austin supplies local with bountiful opportunities to create sustainable developments.
Austin also makes it easy and attractive way to get involved with composting as they have an incentive program. Austin city government offers these rebates and it's pretty easy to get these rebates. You may purchase a composting system for your home and all you have to do is then after that you just fill out an online application and submit it and you should receive some compensation short after that.
Responsible recycling is another principle of sustainability that we thought was very important.
Do you know if you're recycling as responsible as possible? Responsible recycling can be found all over our community. In Wimberley by the high school theater off 2325, there's Hayes County Transfer Center, which is emphasizing a whole different way of recycling that a lot of people may not have found uh, or knew about. So there's actually a different density between the caps and the actual bottle itself when it comes to disposable water. Now, when I worked at Wimberley Zipline Adventures as a tour guide, we had this technique that was implemented by the current San Marcos Resource Recovery Director and Coordinator, Heather Wooten, and she consulted with our company to help reduce the impact in our high use of plastic water bottles. We would go through about 200 customers per day, and each customer would be, drinking about 3 to 4 bottles of water. And with that kind of volume, there's a huge impact involved environmentally. And she implemented this system to help us segregate those caps and bottles so we have a more efficient way of recycling the plastic.
Electronics and materials of other modern household needs can harm our environment and slow progressive sustainability efforts. So, correct allocation of hazardous waste is extremely important. San Marcos residents can find their location to dispose of hazardous waste off of West San Antonio and Feltney Alley. Another local hazardous waste hauler can be found in Wimberley.
It's important to realize, when we eat all these fried foods all the time, especially being a college student on a small budget, that the amount of oil that is used to produce these foods and to cook these foods in, eventually it's going to be spent oil, which you can't really do much with. Now, there is actually a lot of things that you can do it with. So that initial thought that we have of just this being this wasted product that we just have to get rid of, it actually can be turned into biodegradable fuel. And there's this company based out of Austin, Diesel Green Fuels, who go around and they'll pick up your spent oil and they will turn it into biodegradable fuel at no cost to you.
One really great product that we found is a bees wrap, which is a beeswax based product that can be used to store leftover foods. It can be used in place of Ziploc bags that people tend to use daily when they pack their lunches or for anything really. Um, they're made from organic jojoba oil and beeswax, and you can use the heat from your hand to just seal them shut. And they are reusable and can be found in local nurseries. We found one specifically in San Antonio that offers a lot of different styles of and sizes of beeswrap.